What's going on, everyone? So apparently the stats, abilities, attributes, killers, all that stuff, including the strong attack information for the new Halloween characters, the new, I guess, Spirit Society characters, has already been released on Reddit. So assuming it's right, I thought I'd go ahead and make this video and cover it all. I will talk briefly about the strong attacks, but I won't really cover them until the actual gameplay comes out, just because it makes a little more sense to do that. But that said, let's get started. So the first one I want to take a look at is Byakuya. You can see the stats here. I won't cover the stats too much just because, I mean, it's clear right there. The most impressive stat for all of these characters is the SP. He has the 798. Their abilities are basically all the same. For Byakuya, he can inflict freeze. He's got a Soul Reaper killer. Obviously, he's a Soul Reaper and a captain. He's a power character with a strong attack recharge link, Sprinter at 1, Havoc, and Berserker. That's actually, like I said, all of these guys' abilities are basically the same with the exception of they're all immune to something else. For Byakuya, it's poison. But they all have Havoc, Berserker, and Frenzy, which is kind of a big deal. I feel like this is a new normal now after the 4th anniversary. Basically, strong attack characters are going to have Berserker, which I'm totally fine with, because I'd much rather have that than strong attack damage link, because it's basically like having strong attack recharge and strong attack damage link. So it's really nice. It's a way to hit harder without actually, you know, getting an additional link. They also have Havoc, which is interesting because that's going to increase the range from all of these guys. For Byakuya in particular, it's going to make his strong attack 3, which I think is already full screen. I'll double check for you guys right now, but I believe it's already full screen, and it's just going to make it even better. Yeah, it is already full screen. His strong attack 2, like I said, I can't exactly show it because the gameplay isn't out, but it also has pretty crazy range. Its radius is 960, which is like almost full screen. I don't think it's gonna hit behind him. Again, we don't know because the stuff isn't out, but it's what it is. And his strong attack 1 also has really good range. Like I said, he can inflict debilitating freeze on all of his attacks, and he's completely immune to being poisoned, which is nice. I do find it interesting that he is a power character, just because his Rukia was also a power character, and it's kind of, you know, it's the same. I guess it makes sense since they're related, but yeah, that was Byakuya. Now next I want to talk about Kaien, and Kaien I want Rangiku the most, but Kaien might be the strongest, just in terms of, just because of his Havoc and his Berserker and everything. You can see his SP, like I said, I won't know for sure until the actual abilities come out, but you can see his stats right here. His highest stat is SP at 792, so really high. The abilities are basically the same as Byakuya's, with paralysis immunity instead of poison immunity. He's a tech character. He's a Soul Reaper with an wrong card killer. Great killer. Can inflict debilitating paralysis on everything. The reason I think he's going to be the strongest is because of his strong attack 3. Strong attack 3. His strong attack 3 is a charge move, and while normally charge moves aren't full screen, these characters all have Havoc. So the range on all of their strong attacks is increased by 20%, essentially making his strong attack 3 full screen. So with the full screen and the Havoc and the Frenzy, it's kind of insane. He's just gonna have a really hard-hitting strong attack 3, and it's gonna be pretty great. It's gonna be pretty great. In addition to this, he can inflict debilitating paralysis on everything, as I mentioned, and it's good because his strong attack 2 is a 160 max strong attack, similar to Cacao Society Byakuya's, Manga Shunsui, the Mind version of Jushiro, the newest one. It doesn't have the best range. That said, he does have Havoc, so it is a little bit better. But it's gonna do a crazy amount of damage up close, or if they're paralyzed and you're up close, which for him would be pretty easy to do. So he's actually got a really good set of strong attacks and really good range on him. I'm actually most excited for him. He's a melee character. I hope I get him. I really do. Also, he doesn't look like a demon. If I had to guess, he's probably gonna be some sort of like demon fighter or something, because he doesn't exactly look in the same way as basically all the other characters. Now, next we have Rangiku, 794 SP. Character I'm excited for the most because, I mean, Rangiku, right? She has a no affiliation killer, which does kind of suck. I don't like that because it's, you know, it's obviously, it's not a terrible killer like a Spada or captain or human killers, but it is the weaker of the fodder enemies one. I think it's going to become more relevant because they did mention they're going to do the manga as a story in the game, so I think we're going to start seeing more no affiliation enemies, and they're going to be in more events and stuff. No affiliation is actually kind of common in Senkaimon, so there's that, but it's not as bad as it was, but it's still not as good as some of the other ones. She can inflict debilitating weakening on all of her attacks, which I still think is the best status element. They all have their own purposes. It's not the best. They're all, I feel like most of them are equal on, you know, they're all on par, but I like weaken the best just because I feel like it has the most amount of things going for it. She's completely immune to being frozen, also has a strong tech recharge link. She's a mind character, also has Havoc, and also has Berserker, Frenzy, everything, all that. She's ranged, so I think Byakuya is also ranged, I want to say. Let me see real quick. Yeah, Byakuya is also... No, Byakuya is... What? That's odd. According to Reddit, don't know how true this is, apparently Byakuya's normal attack is ranged and his strong attacks are all... Oh no, never mind. Byakuya is ranged, my bad. But yeah, the Rangiku is also ranged. Like I said, freeze immunity. Her strong attack 2 is probably her most useful one. Her strong attack 3 is full screen, and I guess even more than full screen because of the Havoc. Her strong attack 1 is just a regular projectile shot, it looks like. Her strong attack 2 is one of those strong attacks that has a really high hit counter. It's kind of a vortex shot move. It gathers everyone together and then pushes them back. For her to have this is really, really good because that attack, first of all, already has a good range, and secondly, it has a high hit count, so it's got a high chance of inflicting weakening, and it pushes enemies back, so it's going to be really good for bosses and Kaimon, so they can be weakened before these special. It's going to be good for crowd control, and it's just, you know, it's just a good move overall. So I'm really excited for these characters. I'm mostly excited for Rangiku because we haven't had a season with Rangiku in forever. I'm also really excited for Kaien just because his abilities. And I'm a big fan of Byakuya, so I hope I get him too. Unfortunately, I already have all last year's characters, so if I get dupes, you know, I get dupes. I think I have all three in all three of my, all three in both of my accounts. So it's gonna suck if I get them. But either way, I'm excited for this. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm definitely gonna summon on this. I believe it's Jamber and myself. I think we're doing a collab summon on this one, so stay tuned for that. That said, thank you guys for watching. Take care.